There are moments in life when the weight of past mistakes, unresolved conflicts, and unspoken regrets becomes almost unbearable. You carry them silently, tucked away in your heart and mind, but they shape the way you think, feel, and relate to others. Over time, these hidden burdens harden into walls that separate you from peace, from love, and sometimes even from yourself. But what if there was a way to gently dissolve those walls? A way to reset not only your mind, but also the way you experience relationships. This is the promise of Ho'oponopono, an ancient Hawaiian practice of reconciliation and forgiveness. It may look deceptively simple, just 4 phrases repeated with intention, but its effects can be profound, touching the deepest parts of your consciousness. The word Ho'oponopono roughly translates as to make right or to correct an error. Indeed, in Hawaiian tradition, it was originally practiced as a community ritual where families or groups would come together to restore harmony when conflict or illness disrupted their lives. The belief was clear. Disharmony in relationships creates disharmony in the spirit, and if left unresolved, it leads to suffering. By speaking truth, asking for forgiveness, and expressing gratitude and love, balance could be restored. Over time, Ho'oponopono evolved from a communal ritual into a personal spiritual practice. Thanks to modern teachers like Morna Simeona and later Dr. Ihaliakala Hugh Len, it became widely known across the world as a tool for inner healing. And while cultures and interpretations vary, its essence remains the same. Forgiveness is the key to freedom, and love is the language of the soul. At the heart of Ho'oponopono are 4 phrases: I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. Simple words, yet they carry immense power. Each phrase touches a different layer of the psyche. Together, they create a cycle of recognition, release, gratitude, and love, the very elements needed to dissolve old wounds and reset the mind. But why do these words matter so much? Think about the last time you held on to resentment. Maybe someone hurt you, betrayed you, or dismissed your feelings. On the surface, the anger might have felt justified, even protective. But underneath, resentment is heavy. It keeps you tied to the past, replaying the same pain over and over. Forgiveness, however, cuts the cord. It doesn't excuse the wrong. It frees you from being defined by it. And that is what Ho'oponopono teaches. Forgiveness is not about letting the other person off the hook. It's about letting yourself off the hook. The beauty of Ho'oponopono is that you don't even need the other person present. You can practice it silently, within yourself, as a way of clearing the energy between you and them. The ancient Hawaiians believed that memories and experiences are stored not only in the mind, but in the cells of the body. And these memories influence your life even when you're not aware of them. By repeating the 4 phrases, you begin to cleanse these subconscious imprints, releasing patterns of guilt, blame, and shame. In a way, Ho'oponopono is like pressing a reset button for the soul. Each repetition of "I'm sorry" acknowledges that something is out of balance. "Please forgive me" expresses a willingness to release it. "Thank you" shifts the energy to gratitude, and "I love you" seals it with compassion. Together, they create a spiral of healing that expands outward, first to yourself, then to others, and eventually to the world. What makes Ho'oponopono especially powerful in our modern lives is its simplicity. You don't need rituals, candles, or elaborate settings. You can practice it anytime, anywhere, in the middle of an argument, before going to bed, or even while sitting quietly on a bus. The words are short enough to memorize, but deep enough to open hidden doors within you. Think of it this way. Most of us live with an inner noise of criticism, fear, and judgment. Ho'oponopono interrupts that noise with a new melody. The more you repeat it, the more your mind begins to attune to forgiveness and love. Instead of obsessing over what went wrong, you start focusing on what can be healed. Instead of clinging to the past, you begin to embrace the present. The first secret of Ho'oponopono is this: its power doesn't lie in the words alone, but in the intention behind them. Saying "I'm sorry" without feeling is just sound, but saying it with humility, with the willingness to see your own part in the suffering, opens the heart. "Please forgive me" without sincerity means little, but spoken with genuine desire for release, it breaks chains that have lasted for years. Intention is what transforms the practice from a set of words into a tool of liberation. And here's the second secret. Ho'oponopono is not only about forgiving others, it is also about forgiving yourself. How many times have you replayed your own mistakes, punishing yourself long after the moment has passed? Self-forgiveness is one of the hardest acts of compassion, yet it is the foundation of healing. By practicing Ho'oponopono, you remind yourself that you are human, that you are allowed to grow, and that love is bigger than any error. As we move deeper into this journey, we will uncover more of these secrets: how Ho'oponopono clears subconscious patterns, how it can transform relationships even without words, and how it connects to universal principles of healing. But for now, remember this: forgiveness is freedom. And in just 4 phrases, you hold the key to resetting your mind and healing your heart. In the next part, we'll break down each of the 4 phrases in detail, exploring their psychological and spiritual meaning and how to use them effectively in daily life. The 4 phrases of Ho'oponopono are simple, but each carries a depth that can only be fully appreciated when we pause to explore their meaning. They are more than just words. They are keys to unlocking layers of the mind and heart that are often closed off by pain, guilt, and resentment. Let's look at them one by one and uncover the secrets hidden within. The first phrase is, "I'm sorry." At first, this might sound confusing. Why would you apologize for something that was done to you, or for circumstances that feel outside of your control? But Ho'oponopono teaches us that we are deeply interconnected and that what we carry within us, our memories, our patterns, our unhealed wounds, plays a role in the reality we experience. Saying "I'm sorry" is not about blame. It is about acknowledging that something has gone wrong, that pain exists, and that you are willing to face it. It is a statement of responsibility, not in the sense of guilt, but in the sense of empowerment. By saying "I'm sorry," you open the door to healing because you are no longer pretending that everything is fine when it is not. You are admitting the truth, and truth is the first step to freedom. The second phrase is, "Please forgive me." Forgiveness is one of the most powerful forces in human experience, yet it is also one of the most misunderstood. Many people resist forgiveness because they think it means excusing what was done or allowing harmful behavior to continue. But forgiveness is not about condoning, it is about releasing. When you say, "Please forgive me," you are asking for release from yourself, from others, from the universe. You are inviting a cleansing of the invisible bonds that keep you tied to anger, resentment, and shame. This phrase is especially powerful when directed inward. We all carry regrets, mistakes, and choices we wish we could change. By asking for forgiveness, you soften the grip of self-condemnation and create space for compassion. The third phrase is, "Thank you." Gratitude has the power to shift energy instantly. When you say "thank you," you are choosing to focus not on what is missing, but on what is present. You are affirming that even in the midst of pain, there is something to be grateful for. The opportunity to learn, the chance to grow, the ability to release. Gratitude changes your state of mind from victimhood to empowerment. Instead of feeling trapped by what happened, you begin to see the hidden gifts within the experience. Thank you is like opening a window in a dark room and letting light flood in. It is a reminder that even suffering can carry seeds of wisdom if you are willing to see them. The fourth phrase is, I love you. This is the heart of Ho'oponopono. Love is the ultimate healing force, the one energy that can dissolve fear, resentment, and separation. When you say, I love you, you are not only directing it outward to others, you're also speaking it inward to the parts of yourself that have been rejected or forgotten. Love integrates what pain has divided. It brings wholeness where there was fragmentation. Saying, I love you is like pouring water on dry soil. It nourishes the places within you that have long been starved of compassion. It may feel uncomfortable at first, especially if self-love is something you have struggled with. But over time, these words soften the hardest parts of your heart until they begin to bloom again. Now let's consider how these four phrases work together as a cycle. I'm sorry acknowledges the wound. Please forgive me releases the burden. Thank you shifts the perspective to gratitude. And I love you seals the healing with compassion. It is like a spiritual alchemy, transforming pain into peace, resentment into acceptance, and fear into love. The repetition of these words is not mechanical, it is a ritual of renewal. Every time you speak them, you are choosing healing over suffering, freedom over bondage. Another secret of Ho'oponopono is that you don't always have to direct the words to someone else. You can say them to yourself, to your inner child, to your past, or even to situations and memories. For example, if you feel guilt over a mistake you made years ago, you can close your eyes, bring that memory to mind and repeat, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. The memory may not disappear instantly, but the emotional charge around it begins to dissolve. Slowly, the chains of the past loosen, and you find yourself breathing more freely. You can also use Ho'oponopono in relationships, even when the other person is unaware. Let's say you are in conflict with a friend or family member. Instead of rehearsing arguments in your mind, you silently repeat the four phrases while holding them in your heart. Over time, you may notice your anger softening, your compassion growing, and sometimes, even without direct conversation, the relationship begins to shift. Energy changes before words do, and Ho'oponopono works at the level of energy. This practice is not only for healing the past, but also for creating a new future. When you use these phrases regularly, you begin to cleanse the subconscious mind of old programs, those hidden scripts that dictate your reactions and limit your growth. Many practitioners describe it as clearing the data from the mind, like deleting files from a computer to make space for new ones. The more you repeat, the more space you create for clarity, creativity, and peace. Consistency is key. Saying the phrases once may bring a moment of relief, but saying them daily, morning and night, or whenever you feel triggered, builds a habit of healing. Over time, Ho'oponopono becomes more than a practice. It becomes a way of life. You start to approach challenges not with defensiveness or anger, but with humility, gratitude, and love. The words become the background music of your mind, playing softly beneath the noise of daily life, reminding you that forgiveness and love are always available. There is also a deep spiritual dimension to Ho'oponopono. In Hawaiian tradition, the practice was not only about human relationships, but also about harmony with the divine. The phrases are like prayers, aligning you with the higher order of love and truth. When you say, I'm sorry, you're acknowledging the separation from that harmony. Please forgive me is a request to be restored. Thank you expresses trust in the divine process, and I love you reconnects you to the source of all creation. Whether you believe in God, the universe, or simply the power of love, Ho'oponopono is a way of aligning yourself with something greater than your own ego. Perhaps the most surprising secret of Ho'oponopono is how it changes you without forcing effort. You don't have to analyze every wound or understand every memory. You simply repeat the words, and the healing unfolds naturally, often in ways you cannot predict. Some people report that old conflicts resolve themselves. Others notice a new sense of peace within, even though the external circumstances remain the same. The magic of Ho'oponopono is that it works at a level beyond conscious control. As you practice, you may feel resistance. There may be times when saying "I'm sorry" feels unbearable, or when "I love you" feels hollow. This is part of the process. Healing requires patience, and every repetition, no matter how imperfect, creates ripples of change. The important thing is not to judge yourself or the practice. Simply keep going, trusting that the words are doing their work beneath the surface. In the next part, we will explore how to bring Ho'oponopono into everyday life. You will see how to use it in relationships, in moments of anxiety, and even in your relationship with yourself. These practical applications are where the practice truly comes alive, turning 4 simple phrases into a powerful daily ritual of freedom and peace. Practicing Ho'oponopono is not limited to repeating words in meditation. It is about weaving forgiveness, gratitude, and love into the very fabric of daily life. The 4 phrases are powerful in theory, but they become transformative when you apply them to real situations, relationships, and inner struggles. This is where the practice moves from being an abstract idea to a living reality that can reset your mind and heal your connections. One of the most common ways to use Ho'oponopono is in relationships. Every human connection is imperfect, and misunderstandings are inevitable. Sometimes conflicts leave scars that linger long after the words have been spoken. Imagine a friend who betrayed your trust, or a family member who dismissed your feelings. The hurt may have happened years ago, but the wound is still alive inside you. Ho'oponopono gives you a way to address this hurt without reopening the argument. By quietly repeating the 4 phrases, "I'm sorry," "Please forgive me," "Thank you," "I love you," while holding the image of that person in your mind, you begin to release the grip of resentment. Even if the other person never knows you are practicing, the energy between you starts to shift. You free yourself from carrying the weight of that pain, and in some cases, the relationship itself begins to heal. Ho'oponopono is also a powerful tool for moments of anxiety. Anxiety is often fueled by mental loops, thoughts that repeat and spiral, convincing you of danger even when no threat is present. The 4 phrases can interrupt that cycle. When you feel your heart racing or your mind spinning, you can close your eyes, place a hand on your chest, and softly repeat, "I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you." The words act as anchors, bringing you back to the present. "I'm sorry" acknowledges the fear. "Please forgive me" allows you to let go of self-judgment. "Thank you" shifts your perspective toward trust, and "I love you" floods your nervous system with calm. With practice, this ritual becomes a way of soothing your body and clearing your mind in moments of stress. Another area where Ho'oponopono works deeply is in the relationship with yourself. Many people live with an inner critic so harsh that it borders on cruelty. They replay mistakes, criticize their appearance, or doubt their worth at every turn. This internal voice can be more damaging than any external conflict. Ho'oponopono offers a way to respond to the critic with compassion instead of agreement. When you catch yourself thinking, "I'll never be good enough," you can pause and gently repeat, "I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you." At first, it may feel mechanical, but over time, the words begin to soften the critic's voice. Slowly, the harshness is replaced with kindness, and self-acceptance begins to grow. One of the secrets of integrating Ho'oponopono into daily life is consistency in small moments. You don't need to wait for a major conflict or a deep crisis to practice. You can use it when someone cuts you off in traffic, when you make a small mistake at work, or when you feel overwhelmed by daily stress. The practice becomes like a mantra you carry with you, always ready to bring you back to forgiveness and love. Every repetition is like a drop of water on a stone. Over time, the drops carve new pathways in your mind, creating space for peace where there used to be tension. You can also make Ho'oponopono a part of your morning or evening rituals. In the morning, repeating the phrases sets the tone for the day, reminding you that no matter what happens, you are committed to peace and love. At night, the phrases act as a cleansing ritual, releasing the tensions of the day so you can rest with a lighter heart. Some people write the phrases on paper and place them by their bed, or record themselves saying the words and play them before sleep. These simple practices create an atmosphere of healing that supports the subconscious mind during rest. In addition to personal use, Ho'oponopono can be applied to larger situations that feel beyond your control. For example, you might feel powerless in the face of global events, social conflicts, or collective suffering. By repeating the 4 phrases while thinking of these broader challenges, you contribute energetically to healing. The practice reminds you that while you may not control everything, you can still choose to respond with forgiveness, gratitude, and love. This shift in consciousness not only changes you, but ripples outward into the world. It is also worth noting that Ho'oponopono works across time. You can use it to heal memories from the past, to bring peace to the present, and even to prepare for the future. If you carry guilt about something you did years ago, repeating the phrases while holding that memory can release its hold on you. If you're nervous about a future event, repeating the phrases can bring calm and trust. The practice transcends linear time because forgiveness and love are timeless energies. Another powerful way to deepen the practice is to combine Ho'oponopono with visualization. As you repeat the words, imagine a soft golden light surrounding you or the person you are thinking of. See the light dissolving anger, washing away shame, and filling the space with peace. Visualization adds a sensory dimension that makes the practice more tangible, helping the mind and body feel the release more vividly. It is important to remember that Ho'oponopono is not about forcing feelings. Some days you may repeat the words and still feel angry or hurt. That is normal. Healing is not about denying emotions, but about creating space for them to transform. Even if you don't feel an immediate shift, trust that the repetition is planting seeds. The subconscious mind absorbs the words, and over time, the change becomes evident. Ho'oponopono is also a practice of humility. By saying, "I'm sorry," and "please forgive me," you acknowledge that you are not perfect, and that is okay. By saying "thank you" and "I love you," you affirm that you are still worthy of grace and healing. This balance of humility and self-worth creates a state of openness that allows transformation to happen naturally. In relationships, practicing Ho'oponopono can sometimes lead to surprising outcomes. You may find that someone who has been distant reaches out unexpectedly, or that a long-standing conflict suddenly feels less important. But even if the external relationship does not change, your internal relationship with it will. You will no longer be defined by bitterness or trapped by blame. You will carry yourself with more lightness, and that alone is a form of healing. Ultimately, the practice of Ho'oponopono is about freedom. It frees you from the prison of resentment, from the weight of guilt, and from the cycle of anxiety. It opens your mind to clarity and your heart to compassion. The words may be simple, but their impact is profound. As you continue to explore this practice, you will discover that the more you use it, the more natural it becomes. At first, it may feel like something you do consciously, but over time, it becomes who you are. You become a person who meets challenges with forgiveness, who approaches others with gratitude, and who carries love as a constant presence. In the next part, we will explore how ongoing practice of Ho'oponopono not only heals specific wounds, but transforms your entire way of being. We will see how forgiveness and love, practiced daily, can reset not just your mind but your life, leading to deeper authenticity, peace, and connection. The true power of Ho'oponopono is not found in a single practice or a single moment of release. Its transformation lies in consistency, in allowing the words to become part of the rhythm of your life. Over time, the practice does more than heal specific wounds. It reshapes the way you perceive yourself, your relationships, and the world. It becomes a new lens through which you see reality. When you begin to practice regularly, something subtle yet profound happens. Situations that once triggered anger or fear lose their grip. Old memories that carried shame or regret begin to feel lighter, as though their emotional charge has been drained. You find yourself responding to challenges with calm instead of panic, compassion instead of resentment. This is not because life suddenly becomes easy or perfect, but because your inner landscape has changed. Ho'oponopono rewires the emotional patterns of your mind, creating space for peace where there used to be turmoil. One of the greatest transformations comes in relationships. Instead of holding on to grudges, you begin to see others through the lens of humanity. You realize that everyone carries wounds and that hurt people often hurt others. This doesn't excuse harmful behavior, but it does soften your response to it. You are less likely to carry bitterness and more willing to release what no longer serves you. This shift doesn't just heal your relationships, it also frees you from the emotional exhaustion of holding on to resentment. Another transformation is internal. Many people carry deep-seated beliefs of unworthiness, silent scripts that whisper, "I'm not enough." These beliefs influence decisions, relationships, and even health. Ho'oponopono interrupts those scripts by planting new ones. "I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you." The repetition gradually rewrites the subconscious, creating an inner environment of acceptance and compassion. Self-love becomes more than a concept. It becomes a lived reality. The practice also nurtures resilience. Life will always present difficulties, but Ho'oponopono equips you with a tool to face them without being consumed. When challenges arise, you have a ritual that brings you back to balance. You don't need to run from pain or deny it. You can meet it with humility, gratitude, and love. This resilience is what allows you to grow through difficulties instead of being broken by them. As you deepen your practice, you may notice synchronicities, moments where life seems to align in unexpected ways. Relationships may improve without direct effort, opportunities may arise that reflect your new inner state, and peace may emerge in situations that once felt impossible. Ho'oponopono creates space for grace to enter, and grace often shows up in ways the mind cannot predict. It is also important to recognize that transformation through Ho'oponopono is not always dramatic. Sometimes it unfolds quietly, like a slow dawn rather than a sudden sunrise. You may not notice the change day by day, but after weeks or months you look back and realize how different you feel. The anger that once consumed you has softened. The anxiety that once ruled your nights has eased. The self-criticism that once felt endless has been replaced with gentleness. This quiet transformation is just as powerful as dramatic breakthroughs because it is steady and lasting. Ho'oponopono also connects you to something greater than yourself. Whether you call it God, the universe, or simply the power of love, the practice reminds you that you are not alone. Each phrase is like a prayer that aligns you with the deeper currents of life. "I'm sorry" acknowledges separation. "Please forgive me" seeks reconciliation. "Thank you" affirms trust. "I love you" unites you with the source of healing. In this way, Ho'oponopono is both deeply personal and profoundly universal. By making this practice part of your life, you are not only healing your own wounds, but also contributing to collective healing. Every act of forgiveness ripples outward, influencing those around you. Every moment of gratitude shifts the energy of your environment. Every expression of love adds to the reservoir of compassion in the world. Ho'oponopono reminds us that healing is not only individual, but also communal. When you heal yourself, you help to heal the world. As you reflect on this journey, remember that transformation does not come from perfection, but from persistence. You don't need to say the words perfectly or feel them fully every time. What matters is that you keep returning to them again and again, allowing them to do their work in their own time. Healing is not linear, it is a spiral. Some wounds may resurface, but each time they do, you meet them with new strength and deeper compassion. In the context of this series, Ho'oponopono builds on everything we have explored so far. Joseph Murphy showed us the power of the subconscious mind. Carl Jung revealed the importance of integrating the shadow. Louise Hay taught us the healing force of affirmations. Now, Ho'oponopono brings these lessons into practice, offering a tool to release the past, transform the present, and create space for a brighter future. Together, these teachings form a map for inner freedom. As we close this chapter, let this truth remain with you. Forgiveness is freedom. Every time you choose forgiveness over resentment, gratitude over bitterness, love over fear, you reset your mind and open your heart to a new reality. The 4 phrases, "I'm sorry," "Please forgive me," "Thank you," "I love you," are more than words. They are a path to peace. In the next video, we will continue this journey by exploring another profound practice of self-healing and personal transformation. Just as Ho'oponopono teaches us to release what no longer serves us, the next step will show us how to cultivate what we truly desire: clarity, abundance, and a deeper connection with our authentic selves. Stay with me, because the path of awakening is only just beginning.